Hughes isn't famous, but he should be. He's a geologist specializing in hydrocarbons, oil, gas, coal, and for 32 years he labored for the Geological Survey of Canada. He developed Canada's national coal inventory, and he's an internationally recognized expert on energy supplies. In recent years, he's become totally preoccupied with what he calls the energy sustainability dilemma. His message, bluntly put, is that most estimates of the energy still readily available to power industrial society are wildly optimistic. Yes, there are plenty of hydrocarbon deposits left in the ground, but we've already burned most of the easily captured fuels. What's left is difficult and expensive to get at, and much of it will never be produced because the act of producing it uses more oil than it yields.
I wouldn't say, we've got to distinguish between running out and hitting a peak in our ability to supply the market, and that's what we're getting close to, not running out. Depending on who you believe, and there's a continuously evolving study that's being done at Caltech on what I think are fairly compelling ways to look at the remaining recoverable hydrocarbons. And in essence, we're about 40% through all ultimate recoverable hydrocarbons. So we're not quite halfway. The paradigm that we're involved in is a growth paradigm. The economists basically have to have continuous growth, and that's the paradigm that we're operating under, which is a totally and completely unsustainable paradigm if we live in a finite world, which we do. And we've succeeded in bumping up against the ecological and energy resource limitations of the planet, for geological and ecological reasons. And, my thinking is we have to realize that the growth paradigm is very close to an end. It's unsustainable. Ideally, for sustainability, we need at the very minimum a steady state paradigm. So we operate without growth. Unfortunately, we've overshot the ecological ability of the planet to sustain us. And therefore, we're very likely looking at a descent paradigm. So we have to look at likely decades of managed descent to get down to some level that's more sustainable. And I think we can do that in two ways. We can keep shoveling bailout money, trying to resurrect the growth paradigm that we have been so comfortable with, and hit the wall, and then let Mother Nature take over. And Mother Nature has a way of fixing resource depletion issues. She's done it many times in the past, and she'll do it again. Or we can basically realize where we're at now and where we have to go, and start intelligently, managing the descent. And if I wasn't an optimist, I wouldn't travel all over North America giving talks on trying to make people aware of where we're at this point in time, mostly in terms of energy in my analysis, because energy underpins pretty much all aspects of our society. But there's also the resource limits that we're hitting on ecological resources, water resources, soil resources, mineral resources. So it's all part and parcel of the same thing. But the fact that we've had this incredible abundance of cheap fossil fuels has allowed us to make incredible inroads on all of those other vital resources to sustain us.
For Dave Hughes, the absolute highest priority is to cut back on our use of fossil fuels dramatically, and in an orderly way, starting yesterday. or deal with the fact that nature and the market will combine to impose those cutbacks on us. When oil goes to $200 or $400 a barrel, our economy will be changed beyond recognition. Thanks for joining us. For the Green Interview, I'm Silver Donald Cameron. See you next time.